Hey guys, welcome to Solve My Math Homework. We're the YouTube channel that solves only the problems our subscribers send in. So today we're looking at implicit differentiation. And really, it looks weirder and harder than it is. It is a little bit different, but it's nothing to worry about. Okay, so implicit differentiation means you don't have an equation like you normally do. And what I mean by that is you don't have an equation where you've got y explicitly defined as y equals something like 5x to the fourth, right? You have y mixed up in here with x. It's not explicitly defined. So the problem comes in when we normally do the derivative d dx of something like 5x to the fourth. We're saying we're taking the derivative in terms of x, and we have x as the variable in our equation. And that's not the case now. So what we do is we simply derive like we normally would. We're not changing any of the derivative rules. But what we are saying is that when we come to a y, we need to identify that we have come to a variable, and we've derived a y variable instead of an x. All right, so don't do anything different till you come to a y. Let's see. So you have 5x squared. Great. Just use power rule. 2 times 5 is 10 times x to the first, because we lower the exponent by 1, minus, let's see, 3 times 2, or 2 times 3 is 6, y, lower the exponent by 1. I said don't do anything differently until we come to a y. We have, so what we're going to add is a y prime. That y prime, our y differential, says, hey, this derivative is in terms of y, not x. Okay, I like to use y prime. Some people use d dx. Some people use dy dx. I just like to use y prime. It's very easy, it's simple, it's short. That's what we're going to be solving for. So use what your teacher says, use what you're comfortable with. I like y prime. All right, keep deriving like normal. Derivative of 17, derivative of any constant, 0. All right, so I said it before. What are we now solving for? Some of you get to this step and you say, okay, great, what do I do? We are solving for y prime. All right, so that means we need to isolate it. We need to get everything else away. How do we do that? Well, we'll start by subtracting 10x. Okay, so subtract 10x. Now we have a negative 6y times y prime equals negative 10x. Perfect. Now we have to divide out negative 6y. Don't lose your negative sign like I almost did. Okay, divide out negative 6y. So negative 6y divided by negative 6y is just 1. And we get y prime equals, let's see, negative divided by negative is positive, so don't include it. 10x over 6y. But we all know that we're going to simplify that. That is not an acceptable calculus answer. 5x over 3y. All right, so we are done. We got a derivative. The derivative is in terms of x and y, but that makes sense because our original equation was in terms of x and y. All right, let's try one more that maybe doesn't look so nice. Okay, implicit differentiation is needed to derive. Again, we have y mixed up with my x's, okay? But look at this. This x times y, you may have forgotten this thing called the product rule, but we have to do that. So product rule says f prime g plus f g prime, and we are going to need that just to derive the xy part, and then we'll go back to deriving normally. Remember, nothing changes until you come to a y variable. So let's see. F is my x, right? And g is my y. So f prime, derivative of x, is just 1. And then we're just putting the g term. So we're putting y. Remember, I don't need a y prime here because I did not derive the y. I simply stated the y, the second factor in my product. Okay, so f prime g plus f g prime. Now I put x. Now I derive y. So the derivative of y is 1 times y prime, because we derived. We have to put the y prime to indicate I took a derivative of a y variable, or something other than x. Okay? Keep deriving like normal. Derivative of 5x is plus 5. And the derivative of any constant is 0. Let me get rid of this product rule. We don't really need it anymore, and it's going to start to get in the way. All right, well, we really need to clean that up. So let's clean it up. 1y is just y plus xy prime plus 5 equals 0. Perfect. Okay, next step is going to be, remember, I'm isolating y prime. Can't do anything about the x multiplied to it yet, so I'm going to get rid of everything that's added to it first. So I'm going to subtract y and 5, but I'm going to do it in one step. Okay, so there you go. Y minus y is nothing. 5 minus 5 is nothing. X y prime equals negative y minus 5. We are almost there. We are simply now going to divide by x, right? Because we have x times y prime. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. Remember to divide the whole thing over there. So we get y prime equals negative y minus 5 all over x. Again, derivative in terms of x and y makes perfect sense because we started with an equation in terms of x and y. I hope that helped. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments section. And remember, I only solved these problems because they were sent by a subscriber. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and the next time you get stuck on a problem that you don't know how to do, but you need to know how to do, you can send it to me and I'll teach it to you. Thanks for watching.